Credit to Watford, but I think that was a decent performance from Oxford tonight. Just isn't rolling for us away from home at the moment. Hello everybody and welcome back to OUFC Fan View. It's Ian here for another review of another Oxford United game. Today, a bit of Friday night action for you. Or probably Saturday by the time you're watching this video, as Oxford were away to Watford. The last time Oxford played Watford away in the league, they took the wrong kit to Vicarage Road. So, shows you how far the club's come when you just don't feel like stupid errors like that would be made nowadays. But Oxford got their first win in 8 attempts with that mid-week victory over Hull City. This was never going to be an easy game though, away at high-flying Watford, who've been pretty much perfect at Vicarage Road this season, and full credit to the Hornets. Wasn't a great first half performance, but in the second half they certainly turned on the afterburners, turned on the charm and got that winning goal. Oxford still had their chances as well, and we'll go over everything, but it's another defeat on the road for Oxford United as they go down at Vicarage Road. It finished Watford 1, Oxford United 0. We'll go over everything like we usually do in these videos. I'll go over the team news, I'll give my review of the game, highlighting the key incidents, and then I'll give my final thoughts for both clubs. If you want to jump to the final thoughts or any point of the video, please feel free to do that by using the timestamps down below. It's absolutely fine, but if you do, the very least you can do is hit like on this video, because that does help me out a heck of a lot. And if you do like the content, consider subscribing. I've been terrible with my comments lately, so if you left comments for any of those predictions videos or for Oxford's win over Hull, I will get to it. We've got a break now. I'm sorry for being late, but I will get to them. So let's move on to the team news then, starting with Oxford United, and not surprising that the wing-back system is employed again, but Des Buckingham makes 3 changes from Tuesday's 1-0 win over Hull. One of the changes is enforced with an injury to Ben Nelson, which means Sam Long comes into the heart of the defence. The other changes are due to rotation, with Peter Kioso coming in for Tuesday's match winner Hidde Ter Evest, and Ruben Rodriguez coming in for Idris El Mazouni. With all the injured players Oxford have got at the moment, this is probably about the best we can field. Let's move on to the home side then, and Tom Cleverley's Hornets have had an excellent campaign so far in the Championship. They started the night in 7th place, they got the win, and they've jumped to 4th at the end of the night. But they did make 5 changes from their 1-0 defeat to Swansea City. Centre-back Francisco Serialta is suspended, which means Ryan Porteous comes in for him. Yasser Larouci, Peter Duwaru, so I'm going to say these names wrong, I'm really sorry. Seema and Tom Ince all dropped to the bench, and they were replaced in the starting 11 by James Morris, Ryan Andrews, Imran Loser, that's a terrible name, and Quado Bar. As I said at the start, Watford have been unbeaten and virtually perfect at Vicarage Road this season, but they are still missing some key players, like Musa Sissoko is suspended, Ogbonna and Deli Bashiru are injured as well, but they've still got Kembe and they've still got Bayo, and they both have 5 goals for the season for a side that's been banging in goals for fun. Let's move on to the game then, and it was not a great first half, but we'll go over what did happen. I actually thought both sides started quite well. Greg Lee with an early effort for Oxford in the first 5 minutes. It was a tame effort, but we had to wait 40 minutes for a shot against Hull on Tuesday night, so it was nice to see an early effort for Oxford here. But Watford started quite well too. Bar was already causing Greg Lee some problems on the left-hand side. But there really was not a lot happening in this game. It wasn't a great watch. It was quite bitty, quite scrappy, but from an Oxford point of view, that suited us down to the ground. Both sides looking like they might get some joy with balls over the top though. And yeah, so Oxford were doing okay for the majority of this first half. And then on 36 minutes, they created a fantastic opportunity. They did have some great chances in this game. Not saying they maybe deserved to win it, but did certainly have some great chances in this game, and this was the first of them. Greg Lee's cross was well kept in on by Peter Kioso on the other flank. Kioso gets around Ebeselli and he's into the penalty area, and it looked like it was quite an easy cross to pick out Scarlett for a tap-in, but unfortunately PK puts too much on the cross and Scarlett just can't get there. But what that chance did is it seemed to wake Watford up, because they ended the half the stronger of the two sides. They were getting into some decent areas, but just the final ball or the final cross was letting them down. There was nearly a massive balls up on 41 minutes by Jamie Cumming, who played a ball out of defence looking for McEachran. It went straight to KMB, right in the middle of the goal. It looked like he just had an easy chance to run through and score, but he took a heavy first touch, and Cumming was able to recover, make a save, and get the ball away from danger. But as I said, Watford did end the half strongly. Chekfatedza, I know I'm saying that name wrong, and I am sorry, but he did have a fantastic game, so you're going to hear his name a lot. Please correct me down below. He started a move with some brilliant skill in the midfield. He freed Barr, who'd swapped wings and gone onto the Watford left for once. His low cross was met for loser. He looked like he was going to sweep it home, but it was an excellent block by Elliot Moore. And from that resulting corner, Kieran Brown had to nod the ball away off the goal line. It nearly went straight in from a corner. But Oxford did get to half-time at 0-0. And the half did get a bit better as it went on, but it had been a bit of a scrappy affair. And as I said, from an Oxford point of view, that is absolutely fine. I did think that Lee, Goodrum, Rodriguez and Scarlett all looked really tenacious, really aggressive in their pressing, and they really harried Watford, and we got more joy pressing them than we did either against Swansea or against Hull recently, and I thought that's the best kind of Rodriguez has looked in quite a while as well. And Oxford are certainly getting some joy going forward. It's not like an amazing display, but they are looking okay. Watford look at their best when they get the ball wide, particularly when they get it to Barr, but far too often it's just been a bit wayward with the final pass or the final cross for the Hornets. The U's will certainly be the happy of the two sides as we head into the break. Can they hold on to this point or even get a win? Join me in the second half. But one of the things the stats kept telling us is Watford are a much better second half side, and you saw that virtually from the very first minute of the second half. They created a fantastic chance within the first minute. It was a wonderful through ball by Loser, and Peter Kiosa was just a little bit cold, and Ebelese got the wrong side of him. He was through on goal, but Kiosa did really well to get back, put the Watford man off, and he just could not get his shot away. A minute later, Andrews shot wide from a promising position, and Watford certainly looked like they were increasing their intensity and their control on the game. And it didn't take too much longer for them to finally take the lead. But annoyingly from Oxford, it came from probably the first time in the second half we were having a decent attack of our own. Oxford were coming forward at Dane Scarlett, a little bit hesitant on what he was going to do. He looked to shoot and he looked to play it out wide. It was a tame ball. Watford intercepted it, and they were away on the counter-attack. They got the ball quickly forward to Barr. He was one-on-one with Brown. He was always going to have the beating of Brown for pace. Got his cross into the penalty area. He finds Bayo. Cumming makes a great save for the first attempt, but it comes back out to Bayo and he bundles the ball home, and the Hornets were in the lead. Buckingham did make changes shortly after that. We saw El Mazouni and Mark Harris come on for Dane Scarlett and Josh McEachran, but Watford just looked a completely different side in this second half. Chekfatedza, drives through the midfield, gives Kembe a shooting chance for the edge of the box. He goes for a placed effort that was easily saved by Cumming, and it was really backs to the war job for Oxford as Watford pressed for that second goal. Again, it was Chekfatedza just pulling all the strings. His passing range, his skill on the ball was just too much for Oxford to live with in this second half. More changes for Oxford with Heda Terevest coming on for Kioso with 25 minutes to go. But Oxford did get some more chances in this game. 71 minutes on the clock, and it was the first chance of this second half for Oxford, and again it was a really good one. Decent spell of possession from the U's. Rodriguez got a cross in from the right hand side. Watford making a real mess of the header away. I think it's one centre back heading it onto the back of another centre back. It presented an a good chance for Terevest. He'd only just come on, so maybe he was a little bit cold, but he was quite close to the goal. A volleyed effort, but it was quite tame and easy for Backman to get across and make the save. You sense that was a really big opportunity for Oxford to get back into it. Chances for Watford, but they could not kill this game off. Their main man, Chekfatedza, stung the palms of Jamie Cumming with a shot from the edge of the box, and then he popped up again a couple of minutes later on the left wing, putting an excellent cross which Pollock could not convert. It was lucky for Oxford that was a centre-back in there, just couldn't sort his feet out, so we were able to clear the danger. But then Watford had their final outstanding chance to make it 2-0. They just couldn't finish Oxford off. La Rossi came on as a sub. He got freed. I think it was Czech Vitesse who freed him again. He got free down the left-hand side. His cross was pinpoint for Bayo. He should score from about 10 yards out. His first-time effort, though, was well saved by coming in goal. But the game did end with Oxford fans pulling their hair out and wondering what might have been. First of all, it was kind of a half chance really for Sparky. He pulled the ball down, 84 minutes, Mark Harris just a ball into the channel, pulled it down really well. Vakoun was slightly out of position, but Harris was a long way out. He went for kind of a placed, curled effort into the near corner, but Vakoun was able to get back and push it behind for a flag kick. And Oxford's final chance was another really good one. 88 minutes on the clock. Tyler Goodrum wins a free kick just outside the penalty area on the right-hand side. It wasn't a penalty, but we haven't had a penalty all season, so I was just really clutching at straws, hoping the ref was going to give one, but he did make the right decision. But Volks floated over a lovely free kick. Sam Long got a firm header on it, but it was well saved by Backman. The rebound came out to Harris, but Harris had his back to goal, tried to hook it into the goal, but it's just not running for Mark Harris, and it just kind of flicks off his toe and goes over the bar. Oxford huffed and puffed in 5 minutes of injury time, tried to force an equaliser, but they just couldn't get the job done. It's Watford who come away with another victory at Vicarage Road. Congratulations, Watford fans. And let's move on to the final thoughts. Yeah, and let's start with Watford. And what a great season you're having, Watford fans. You must be delighted with the start that you've made under Tom Cleverley. It is a bit of a surprise. I don't think many people thought you would be this high in the league at this stage. And it has been built off this dominant record you've got at Vicarage Road, but it was also quite stark at how much better you were in the second half than how you were in the first half. I thought in the first half you were a little bit sloppy, a little bit rushed. You were trying to get the ball forward too quickly and you kind of played into Oxford's hands a little bit. I felt we were able to kind of press and win a few balls in midfield. Second half you just stepped it up all over the pitch, and Czech Vitesse was absolutely fantastic. What a wonderful performance by him today. To say he pulled the strings in midfield just didn't really do him justice. He really was the difference in quality between the two sides. But you always had the danger from those balls over the top as well, particularly when Barr was on. His running down that right-hand side caused Oxford lots of problems. Felt Watford always had that out ball as well, and they were able to hold the ball up better in the second half. And for that first sort of 25 minutes of that second half, you really penned Oxford in, maybe just took your foot off the gas towards the end to see the job done, which gave Oxford a chance. But yeah, I think you should be delighted with it. I mean, this was one you would have expected to win, no doubt about it, and it maybe wasn't as easy as you thought, but you still got the job done. Let me know, Watford fans, how good can this season be for you? I know you've still got quality players to return as well. Are you going to make an unexpected shot at promotion here? Are you overachieving? Let me know down in the comments. And also, good luck for the rest of the season. And that brings me on to Oxford United. Look, it's another defeat on the road. It's another narrow defeat on the road. And whenever we play away, all they're going to be talking about is, oh, Oxford only picked up 2 points away this season. We haven't won on the road. But I thought that was a decent performance from Oxford tonight. You know how many players we've got out injured. It's something like 11. You know how many of our wide players, our wingers, are out injured, which you could see how that was limiting the side, particularly in the second half when we were trying to get the ball forward quickly and we just didn't have that injection of pace down the flanks. But I thought the side played really well. In the first half, I thought the pressing, as I've already highlighted, was very aggressive, very good from all the midfielders, all the forward players. I really thought Lee was superb in the first half as well. He was making a real difference going forward. And I do think Rodriguez was having a good game. It's the best game I've seen him play for quite a while. Oxford just looked like they had some energy in it. We've seen in recent weeks where we looked like we struggled to compete. And maybe Watford just weren't as good at keeping the football as the likes of Sunderland, Swansea and Hull were. So we weren't chasing shadows as much. They were looking to get the ball forward much quickly. So it meant we did have more of the ball. But I felt Oxford were trying to be brave with it. I thought we were trying to get Scarlett in behind, trying to get Harris in behind when he was on. And all in all, I thought it was a decent away performance. We just didn't take the chances that came our way. Once again, magnificent defending from the centre-backs. Great work by Cumming, made some key saves in there as well. No real fault, no real blame for anyone. We just got sucker punched on the counter-attack for Watford's goal. Yeah, Watford easily could have scored another one in there as well, no doubt about it. But I generally was quite encouraged with what I saw from Oxford today. When we play with that kind of effort, it still shows me that we're capable of competing in this championship, and eventually it makes me think we are going to start picking up some wins away from home, because hopefully things are going to get better on the injury front now the international break has come. We really needed this break, and just to try and get some more bodies in the building. We might have Brannigan, we might have Plaheta, we might have Phillips available for the next game, which will change things dramatically. I wonder if we do carry on with the wing-back system though, while Plaheta and Phillips might still not be match fit. Because I did think that worked quite well, and I thought that might be something we can use in the next few games when we are playing some sides who are in the top half of the table. If you can slot Brannigan back in that midfield, he will add that natural energy in there. But yeah, I all in all, I've not got too many complaints. I thought Des Buckingham picked the right side. I thought Oxford played quite well. We just came on the end of it on a narrow defeat, and on another day we could have got a point out of it. But let me know down below. I know things aren't running for Mark Harris at the moment, but we don't need to keep raking him over the coals. Hopefully, like last season, he will eventually come good again. But yeah, not too much to moan about. We've got a break now. It's never good to go into it with a defeat. And I know we might even be in the relegation zone. We're in a lowly league position, but for me, there's still plenty to be encouraged by, and I think you should be too. Enjoy the break, Oxford fans. We'll be back for lots of fast and furious football heading the end of November, into December, into Christmas. Let's see what we can do. Thanks for watching. I'll be back very soon.